What is going on, guys and girls? It is GhostRobo, and today is the annual iPhone day. Except this year, we actually have a meaningful, big update. And when I say big, I mean really big. We have here the iPhone 6 Plus. It is big, it is bold, it is beautiful, it is a little bit disturbing, and we are going to open it up together. Before we do that, I want to show you my iPhone 5S. Let's take a look at this. Get the sizing down, see how it compares to my face, see how it compares to my hand. I have decently small hands, but this is the iPhone 5S. I like it, but I want something bigger. We're going to open up the iPhone 6 Plus here. I got a 128 gig gold phone, and judging by the outline on the outside, I think we're going to be a little bit... It's a big, big world, guys, and this is a big, big, it's a big, big phone. Here it is, and that is extremely substantial. iPhone 5S, iPhone 6 Plus. You can see it dwarfs it in many ways. Let's take it out of the box. We'll see what's all in here. Traditional Apple fare, but we'll go through it anyways, and you can witness the mighty, mighty iPhone 6 Plus. It comes with protectors, so don't worry, I'm not scrubbing up the screen already. It has the glorious gold on the back. It says iPhone. You can notice the curved edges now. It's not a rectangular phone, but it's much more of a very rounded little effect we got going on there. They've moved the power button to the side instead of the top. It still has Touch ID. Much remains the same. Better camera, all of that. We'll boot this guy up as we're sitting here. And just again, the screen difference is substantial, but more importantly, the size difference. This is a phone that is quite comparable to a PlayStation Vita rather than an iPhone, and it's almost iPad mini-esque. And I'm going to show you right now. A lot of people are saying, oh, this replaces the iPad mini. It's not that big. The iPad mini still is, you know, it's the big kahuna in comparison, right? This one still has a lot more screen real estate and a lot more size, but you're seeing that this does creep into the phablet territory for certain. Okay, so we're making progress with the setup here, and it's brought us to an interesting screen that is pretty much exclusive to this big old Plus phone. Display zoom. Choose how you would like to view the iPhone. Zoom shows larger text and controls. Standard fits more on the screen. You can change the setting at any time. So you'll notice here, you can see, if we bring it real close to you, there is a zoomed view and a standard view. The zoom view kind of looks like a traditional iPhone home screen, and then the standard view utilizes the entirety of the Plus real estate to bring more apps and more magic onto your home screen. I'm going to go with the standard view, just keep things, I guess, a little bit fresher for this iPhone 6 Plus. Why not take advantage of it? It's going to get us started, and here is my big, bold phone, and it's already dinging, it's already doing stuff, and we have to, again, bring in comparison. Stop dinging! You got to see here, my home screen, okay, it's really, really, really Apple, okay. The difference here between these home screens is quite intense, and as it brings these into focus, you'll see just the size differential of the icons and everything. Also, the fact that we can turn this landscape is very unique and very interesting. Forget the iPhone 5S, this is all about the 6 Plus now. And there's a little bit of glare, which I apologize for, but interesting that it can be like this. It looks like a keyboard, which is much more akin to something you'd find on an iPad here, as we have this total landscape keyboard, which I think will allow for faster typing for iPad users and traditional computer users, but text users, I don't know if this is going to up my speed or slow down my speed. If I test it out right now as we speak here, it does give you access to more keys, more buttons, there's more things for you to talk about. But I'm going to say, hey guys and girls, I mean, this is, again, I'm reaching across like an iPad, and I think that my traditional one-handed texting will probably do me a little bit better in terms of speed. Now in their traditional portrait mode, you'll notice the keyboards look a lot more alike, except for the Plus has more space between the keys, but I think this is probably how I would prefer to use the phone. If we go to the home screen, you'll notice that my finger just does not reach across, whether it's the horizontal axis or the vertical axis. I have no way of getting across this screen. What they have done to sort of remedy that a little bit is if you double tap, not push, but double tap lightly, like a little doo-doo, you can squish everything down to the bottom of the screen, which should, in effect, allow you to reach there if you stretch your thumb. Like I said, I'm 6'2", I don't have the biggest of hands, but I think no matter who you are, you're going to feel like you're holding something really, really big. I don't know anybody that has hands that could, while holding it, reach across. This is definitely a two-handed phone, and I'm a little bit concerned of how that's going to impact my phone usage. Obviously, when it comes to things like movies and games, I think this is a beast, but how does it factor in with daily phone calls, text messages, emails, that's TBD. The allure, though, of watching YouTube videos and playing games on this Plus phone is pretty crazy, though. We're here watching my Destiny Part 1, and you can see the size of this allows for just such a different viewing experience than the good old iPhone 5. Not like this has to be, it doesn't have to be this big. I can still watch good YouTube videos on this phone, but there's something much more meaningful about seeing it in this size aspect. And I brought in a Vita just so you can see. It's not the exact same size, but these things are pretty comparable. If you thought the Vita was a handheld gaming device that shouldn't be in your pocket, well, the iPhone 6 Plus probably shouldn't either, because it is just as large and also pretty darn beautiful. So video is great and games look to be as well. I've booted up Plunder Pirates here, which is Rovio's new game in preparation for these brand new phones launching. And as you can see, it is quite glorious. The picture looks fantastic. This phone has so many pixels, even more than the regular iPhone 6, and I'm sure games are going to be great on it, especially playing with this expanded screen. Landscape mode here will work just beautiful. If we take it back to the home screen, some of you may be wondering what is on the iPhone 6 Plus when you first get it. Well, there's about 110 gigabytes of free space if you have the 128. Obviously, it'll be smaller and different depending on the size of your phone. This one comes in a 16, a 64, and a 128 this year. They effectively eliminated the 32 gigabyte model. But you have your traditional iPhone fare. This does have iOS 8, and many of you know the features of that already, but you're getting things like iMovie, Pages, Numbers, iTunes, GarageBand, Podcast, FaceTime, Health, Passbook, all that good stuff. Remember, this phone does have the Apple Pay, where you can swipe your phone at retailers that utilize that, places like Staples or Starbucks, and basically it becomes a credit card. You can plug in your credit cards and utilize your phone instead of actually having to swipe the card, which to me is one of, if not the best feature of this big new guy, except for maybe its largeness, which I'm still kind of coming to grips with. After using it for this video, I think the vertical way of holding the phone is really the way to go for me. Horizontally, it's good for games and good for video, but I find myself awkwardly typing. It's not big enough to be an iPad and represent a more full keyboard, and it's not small enough to be comfy like some of the old Sidekick type phones in, way long ago. One other thing that I want to show you guys here is the camera. Obviously, it's hard to sort of tell right off the bat how strong this camera is, but it definitely is improved. And the iPhone 6 Plus has an optical image stabilization, which the 6 regular does not have. So for all of you photo fanatics, that is a boost. This thing does record in 1080p 60 frames per second, which is great for me and people who are fancying themselves as future YouTubers. It takes very nice pictures. That's a front camera shot of myself and Groot from Disney Infinity 2.0, and we've got a back camera shot of a Funko Groot. Now, iOS 8 does include some different photo options, so when we go to edit here, you can bring up a screen that has different things that are more intense than the traditional photo app would give you on iPhone. So if we want to go to light, you see Groot's looking pretty dim there. We can adjust and bring him lighter or darker. And what's cool about this is that it shows you a mini preview of what the image will look like at a darker or lighter rate, which I think is a pretty cool way to edit your photos. So we can brighten Groot up, not too bright. Maybe we get in here and give him a little bit more. Let's go to the color. We can saturate him a little bit, and look, if you compare this to the one before, we've got Groot looking all sorts of fantastic, fancy, and very fine. I think in general this phone is not as big as I first thought when I took it out of the box. You see it in comparison to your old phone, especially if you're a 4 user. I think you're going to be like spooked and maybe have to go hide in your closet for a few minutes. But this thing is giant. Until you start using it, it shrinks down in size. And I find myself being much more comfortable with this phone. I don't know if I like it fully, like I said, for daily usage, but it does seem to serve that purpose well enough to maybe be worth all of the other benefits that the bigger screen brings you in terms of watching video, playing games, and maybe a few other things as well. Even though the phone is a lot bigger, you don't get any bigger accessories or weird things like that. I thought I might run into some giant headphones, but the earbuds are traditional Apple size. You get the charging lightning cable, and you get the lovely cube. I wonder when they're going to turn this cube into a different form factor, either just the plug, a sphere, a replica of Steve Jobs' face. I don't know, but this is what you've come to expect from an iPhone box. So a lot of the case companies don't have their full product line available on launch day. I want to get one of the cool credit card ones from Incipia, but that's not available. Switch Easy also isn't just quite yet ready, but Apple has you covered with their super expensive, overpriced cases. Silicone and leather is what they were offering today, and I picked up a silicone one because it was the cheaper of the two. I got a big red one here, and this is a big red case. Again, if we take a look at my old iPhone 5 and smash it on this case, you're like, holy crap, are you about to buy a Kindle or an iPad or what? But we'll open up and see how it looks when we dump it on the phone itself. It's nice and fuzzy. It's got some softness inside. It's very much like a lot of the iPad cases that they've been selling. But we'll put the phone inside here and see what it looks like in sort of full, ready-for-action status. It does not cover up the bottom, so you can plug in easily. It doesn't cover up the home button, so you can use your Touch ID, but it does protect things from my slippery hands, I guess. They are smooth, and sometimes they drop things. I won't drop this, though, because it is so big. I don't know. I'm still trying to get over the fact that it's so large. And like I said, I notice a lot of valuable reasons to have it be this size, but there's still something about it that might be too big for me. It looks good in the case, though. It seems to be ready for action. I'll have to take it out and actually use it to see what I think, decide if it's too big for me, if I want to drop down to the iPhone 6 or what. I will show you that the iPhone 6 does look a lot smaller in person in comparison to the 6 Plus. Like, the difference is substantial. Like, this size is definitely noticeable. Big brother and baby sister, they're here looking more different than the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 5S. Now, you may be thinking, Ghost, that's crazy, why do you have both? But I want to just test drive them like you test drive a car and see which one suits me better and then dump the extra. I'll be making a comparison review of the two phones once I get a little bit more into the nitty-gritty of each one. But for now, I really don't know about this phone. It's super big. I like a lot of things. And like I said, there's still some reservation. I definitely think it is worth upgrading to the iPhone 6 era. Now, if you do have a 5 or a 5S, it's not mandatory. There's no feature here that is so grand that you can't resist it. But if you're coming from the 4 era, or you just really are a heavy user of your tech, your phone, you use it for business, for emails, for videos, for uploading. Like I said, that 1080p, 60 frames per second is going to be great for me in vlogs, as well as just the better pixel count on the screen, the better processor for games. I use my phone hours a day, and so for me, the upgrade makes a lot of sense. I give it a thumbs up overall. We'll have to play the wait and see game depending on the size stuff. But for now, I do like it. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. iPhone 6 Plus, iPhone 6 regular, no 6th generation, anything. I'm curious to hear what you think. Someone wants to know what I think of the phone as they text me, but I want to know what you all are thinking about. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave it a like. It means a lot to me, just like you guys. Have a fantastic day. Drink some matcha. Until next time, we will see you all later.